Well, good afternoon. It's Sunday the 19th of December 2021. We're back in Virtual Pool 4 Online. We are back for the hot seat match in this year's 2021 8-Ball Virtual World Championship. Race to 11. And it's going to be a USA versus Sweden match between REELPOLANDPOWER, Stubb, as we call him, or I call him anyway, and Bedhead. Now, both players have been in this lobby since I got home, but neither of them have been in a room practicing, so they think they've done enough. Good afternoon to Dwight. So this is to see who gets to the final, and the loser of this match, whoever that might be, is going to have to battle one more match in the one loss side, where semi-pro awaits them. So there are 3 matches left in this tournament, and good afternoon to semi-pro. There are 3 matches left. This is the first of them, and then we'll have the semi-final, as you would call it in a normal event, and then of course we'll have the final. Thank God that Stubb saw sense and got the match actually arranged. This time suits me perfect because I've basically got 4 hours before I'm back to bed. I went to bed last night at 8 o'clock and I was up at 1:30. I couldn't get back to sleep. Now I'm just going to tab out. Steve's just arrived.
Thank you. Do I sound okay?
Right, guys, you can give us a sound check and let us know. Steve sounds okay to me. He sounds a lot better than what he did when he first arrived in the other match.
Yeah, I should be good.
Good afternoon to Whit. We've got about 3.5 minutes to go. So if you go by logic, and the logic is that if you've watched Bedhead play and watched Stubb play in this tournament, then logic would tell you that Bedhead should get there in more racks than Stubb should. That's how it looks like on paper, but as we know, that doesn't always pan out. But in terms of picking the right way out, not getting as loose with the cue ball, you would have to favour Bedhead in that respect. And if he doesn't do it, then it would be a fail, because we've seen how loose Stubb can get. We know he can pop balls, and that's his sole way of surviving. And it's another big test for Stubb, so I don't know what Steve thinks, but we're about to find out.
Well, I agree with you for the most part. I think, Stubb has another advantage besides ball putting. He can move the cue balls in ways that other people don't. I mean, he can really come with big shots that other players either aren't able to execute, or they don't want to try it. I see this match as being, if turns into a strategy match with a lot of difficult tables, I think it really favors Bedhead. If it's more wide open with the tables that are less issues, then I think it's going to favor Stubb. And because of that, if I was Bedhead, I would think about breaking in a way that doesn't leave tables for running out. That try to break a little easier, try to get balls clustered, because that's going to favor his type of play, which is a little more cerebral than Stubb, who's going to get up there and just fire away.
Yeah. Well, I think when you say Stubb plays shots that some other players might not, I think the word to follow that is takes risks. It can work for him, it can work against him. but he's got to find shape on a more regular basis if he's going to win this. That's the way I see it. I mean, and the thing is whether Bedhead will capitulate and get drawn into, as soon as you see a ball, you've got to go for it, when that little good safety can bring you more benefits in the long term. I don't know whether the strategy is going to be in Bedhead's mind, or whether he's just going to try and go all guns blazing as well. There's no doubt Stubb will. But
yeah, I think Stubb, he needs to play a little smarter. He needs to play safe when the easy safety is available. He shouldn't just go all guns blazing. What I meant by he's able to shoot certain shots is, if you, for example, watch the Filipinos play, they will hit a big stroke shot just to get the cue ball running on a certain line. They know they could get to it somehow else, but they also know that it's going to be difficult to get to it. It's going to leave them in a potential trouble. So, they're willing to hit the ball with a lot of speed and spin when it's desirable. And I think Stubb does that, but the problem is he does that times when he shouldn't. Where he should do something simple, he'll do something crazy.
Pushes the boat out maybe once too often.
Yeah, I mean, just because you have the capability of doing something fancy does not mean you should be doing it. You reserve that for times when it's really appropriate.
Right, so Bedhead's at the bottom of the screen. Stubb at the top, waggling the cue backward and forward. He's easy to spot. Bedhead's wondering what all the waggling about's about. That looks too heavy by Stubb. Yeah. So Bedhead has won the lag. Now, where's Spudboy got to? Because Spudboy was typing in the lobby earlier on. He was calling it 11-6 to Stubb. We've got 11-9 to Bedhead from Witt.
Well, I'm not going to call a score. I think this is going to be a close match. I think it just, besides the normal sort of things we talk about, like making mistakes, such as missing balls or not breaking well, I think a lot of it's going to come down to what type of game it is. And if it gets into a strategy game, I don't see Stubb winning.
Well, a ball in a break.
A ball in the break and a good-looking table.
Yeah, we've got stripes both opposite corners of the table. And not really an awful lot of choice here for Bedhead but the stripes, I think, because I don't think he's got another pot. He's only got the 11.
Yeah, well, the stripes are fine. I mean, I think I'd almost rather prefer the stripes. One issue with it is those three balls, the 13, 14, 9. You want to get to that pretty early because that can be a little tricky. But you need to get one of this, either the 13 or the 10 out of here. Well, really the 10, because you want that 13 as an escape ball. So he should shoot the 10 here and then go down and probably shoot the 12 and come back up and try to get to 14 so that the 9 has a clear shot. He's going to shoot the 14 now, and that's fine too. I mean, you just need to get to these three balls and get them out of there. Even though the 15 looks like it could be a problem, it's not really. And he's just going to want to draw back and shoot that 9 in the same pocket, I think. I think he can hit this good enough that he can have a cutback angle in the pocket and just drift forward and shoot the 15. He looks like he's going forward for the 15 now, which is okay. Just needs to get an angle. All right, he's okay. I tend to think of playing balls in groups of threes from playing straight pool. But this pattern's fine too. There's nothing wrong with it. Watch out. Yeah, he's good.
This is the one he has to get right. I think the angle he's got in that 9's putting him off. So
Yeah, I think the 13's a better shot because this is pretty natural. He just does not want to leave it short. He wants to get to that rail and come out. Okay, he's not going to the rail, and that's fine too. He might have hit that with a touch inside just to hold it.
Now, did you want to play a little stun just to get out to the right slightly?
Yeah, he's just going to stun this. I mean, it's a natural. I mean, all he has to do is a stop shot, and it's going to slide over. He's got a little angle on it. I mean, this is sitting perfect, really.
Good start for Bedhead. Solid start.
Yeah, this was a very well played rack. It was an easy rack, but it was, nothing's ever easy when
well, they're all easy when they all go in.
Pressure.
They're all easy when they all get into the pockets.
Well, he didn't have any trouble. Now that's interesting. Stubb just hit an off-speed break, and it was very effective. He did not hit that hard.
Yeah, he's just breaking center ball.
And this table's sitting pretty good. I mean, they're both good. I'd probably take the stripes.
15.
I think they're sitting a little bit better. That 4 ball's an issue.
15 squeezes past the 7, no problem. Well, it does if you're right on it. If you're cutting it, you could easily cut that into the 7.
Yeah, the problem is you really want to shoot the 11 next after that, and you don't want to hit it hard. He needs to come down table and get closer to that 15 and then go 15, 11.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes. I probably would have left that 12 ball and come down table and dealt with that 15, 11 right away. He's going to get himself in a position. He's going to play all these balls up table. He's going to get himself in a position where he's going to have to get on that 15 or 11 ball from up table, and it's not terribly difficult, but you definitely can make a mistake there.
Well, the biggest problem I see is he's going to have to just drop this 15 in, because that's the only way he's going to have a shot in the 8 ball. Just past the 5 and cut it into the side. I don't see him playing it anywhere else.
Well, if you're on the 11, you can run forward and bump the 2 and shoot the 8 down the corner. I mean, that's a very controlled shot. But, I mean, he's... the plus of leaving these for the end is that it's a little bit easier to deal with the 8 ball, because that is a problem. But, the minus is that if you don't get on this right, I mean, he really, in my mind, I would be shooting the 15 next. And then, depending on how you get on the 11, there's a number of ways you can play it. You can shoot for either side or the corner down there. It just sort of depends on exactly how you get on the 11. But you need to get close to this 15 because you cannot roll it from long distance and get a good shot.
Yeah. This 7 ball might play its part yet, because like I said earlier, if he doesn't get good on this 15, he can easily just nudge it into the 7.
Well, now he's thinking about all the things I'm talking about, and he should have been doing that at the beginning of the rack. Yeah, see, I don't like that. I would hit that significantly harder. Well, actually, he got down further than I thought he would. It would be nice to be like, no more than 2 diamonds away, and he's a little over 3. I think the ball will still go. He's going to have to, at a minimum, shoot a stop shot here. He can't roll forward off this.
No, this is the one that's going to count.
Yeah, and he hit that really aggressively. Now, he's a little straight in here, so he's going to have to decide exactly what he wants to do. If he had a little more angle, it would be real easy to get on the other side of the 1 ball and shoot it across in the side pocket. He's a little kind of straight in for that. He's got himself a funny angle.
I'm worried that he's looking at the gap between the 5 and the 2, and that's even trickier.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. It's just too small. I mean, ideally he would have just stopped that ball or pulled it back just half inch so that he had a little angle where he could run into the 2.
Now he's going forward by the look at it at the moment. And
yeah, he may try to run into something. I mean, it's going to be a little tricky to get on the other side of the 1. I think that's what he's going to try to do. Well, now he's looking at going back. And this is tough, too.
Yeah,
He played it well. I mean,
that's where I thought he would get to, or eventually. And the little cut.
Well, that's Stubb being smart. I mean, he did not try to do anything crazy. He took the guaranteed shot, and that's really a smart play. So we can't say that Stubb is being playing dumb all the time because he just did something smart first rack. And he's taking a lot of time here, but I mean, it's, definitely.
I've not a problem with that.
Definitely no gimme.
I've not a problem with that. You've got to take your time, get yourself set, and a good response from Stubb.
Yeah, that was, if Stubb's going to play like that smart, he could be a formidable opponent. Well, I'm hearing balls dropping. It's not the cue ball, so that's.
Yeah, I think
that's a pretty good break.
3 gone in. I think 1, 2, 3 have gone.
Yeah, he needs to take the stripes, and he's going to be shooting a 12 ball, I would imagine.
Oh.
I think the stripes are sitting pretty good because the only issue is the 13 and where that 15's sitting here in a real good spot. Pocket that 15 and just nudge the 1, shoot the 13. He could try to get there right now from the here and run into the 1, but I think you don't want to do that because it's too touchy. You bump the 15 and end up locked up on top of something that's no good. I would be looking to maybe go 12, 9, 15. That's the pattern I like. You need to get yourself a little angle on that 15 so you can slide over and bump that 13. Let's see if he picks up on that. I mean, this is just a natural to get on the 9 ball here. You need to get pretty straight in, but it's an easy shot.
Well, he's got room for manoeuvre to eventually get onto that 13. He could end up just splitting the edge of the 1 and pushing the 13.
God, he almost hit that 12 ball shooting that, and I don't know why he shot that, but I mean, he's on the 13. He's good. He doesn't have to do any bumping. So, I mean, ideally, if you can play without bumping things, it's better. And he's perfect on this 13 ball.
Now, the only worry with this is he going to use the 1 to try and avoid the 15?
He's gonna miss the 1. He should be missing the 1. There's no reason to hit the 1 here.
Yeah, he's missed the 15. That'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. I don't know if he's going to go for the side pocket. That's what I would. I mean, a lot of guys don't like shooting balls in the side pockets that much. I mean, obviously they're a little more severe, but I mean, he's sitting perfect to just go forward 2 rails and come straight up on that 9 ball.
Well, this is the one he's got to get good, because if he doesn't, he's got no way of getting down for that 10. It's a critical shot coming up. The other thing is that the 8 ball goes into this corner and into the side. So
he's either got to be above the 10 on the left side or below the 10 on the right side to get a shot on that 8 ball. So he's going to go backwards, which I don't particularly like that play because I think he's okay because he's got a pretty good angle to get a shot on the 9 and come down. But, a lot of stuff could have gone wrong there. The other way was simpler. Gotta watch out for the 1 here. Now, he decided to hit that with some speed because he did not want to mess with the 1, and it's not a bad decision, but here we go with these balls extended from the side pocket. You get just a teeny bit funny on him, and, and it gets tough, and he's funny on it.
He's dead straight.
This is why I don't like leaving this ball like that. I mean, it could have been worse if he had an angle back the other way. I think he's going to be okay here.
Well,
he's above the 10, which is what he needed.
He's got to get back to this middle pocket for that 8 ball. He can't leave it short.
Oh, he's going to shoot in the same pocket.
Needs to get high. That'll do it. Yeah. That's perfect. absolutely plumb.
Well, it was sitting good because all he had to do was roll it. You know, the 2-ball wasn't in play if he rolled it, and well, that's two for two for runouts. I mean, it could be one of these matches where you have to hold serve,
Yep.
and if you don't, you're in trouble. And obviously, in this kind of match, the break's huge. Now, Stubb tried to hit that easy, and that rack was not very tight, and it did not come apart well. And that's a problem with slow breaking, is that if the rack is a little loose, the balls aren't going to scatter well. But on the other hand, you know, it's going to be harder to run out.
Welcome to Mark. Welcome to DJ Hazard. What did I say, DJ Hazard? Well, I was going to say DJ Simon there. Well, drive break, first one of the match.
Yeah, I mean, they're both okay. I mean, obviously the 12 ball is a little bit of an issue if you take the stripes. I mean, he can shoot the 5, and then, you know, he opens that up where the stripes are that now good. But I think you almost have to shoot that 5 ball here.
Well, I mean, there isn't really a problem at the bottom of the table here. I suppose you could say the 7's a problem, but...
Well, there's nothing that can't be gotten to, but when it's this kind of table with all the balls like this, you know, you need to move the cue ball well. You need to get on the correct side of balls, and if you make a mistake, you could be in real trouble. It looks simple, but in reality, these kind of tables, you know, aren't a guaranteed run out.
I'm going to drop the 1 in. 6 ball. Or 3.
Yeah. I think he should go 1-6 and roll forward and get the 7 if he gets funny on it, or he could go 3 to 7 also. I mean, he's got some choices here. But, you know, it's always good to play position for 2 balls. Okay, so he's funny on the 6, so he's going to shoot the 3. And he just has to, you know, deal with the 10 ball. Now, the problem is he's funny enough on the 3 that he'd have to go below the 10, and that's no good.
Yeah.
I think he should actually stun this and hit the 10, because you don't want to get on the low side of that 7 and move the 13 and 14, because you could tie up your 2 ball. He's going to stun over here. He's already in trouble. I think he should shoot the 3 and run into the 10.
Well, he's going to go 2, 4, 7, I think. That'd be the obvious way.
He's still okay. He's still okay. I mean, it's just it starts coming down to, you know, have to perform shots.
Yeah.
But, you know, when they're have to perform and you're just rolling them, that's, you know, that's the kind of have to perform shot you want. Is that, okay, he has to get on this 7 here, but it's a pretty easy shot.
Got to get high on the 7. He doesn't want to be running into those 2 balls, so he has to get high. It needs to bounce.
Yeah, he's good.
He's overhit
he's really just about... He's still okay as long as he can make the ball. Yeah, he's fine. Now, here's where you have to decide. Am I just going to accept it and get a little above this 3 ball? You know, I think he's got a choice of hitting this with inside or hitting this with right-hand English, or left-hand English. I'd probably hit this with left-handed, spin it, and accept the fact I was probably going to get a touch high on the 3 ball, because I think that's pretty easy to deal with.
Yeah. Well, he did have a little left. Now he's gone a little right. He's just trying to check it straight, just to come in the gap.
This is a little riskier, this shot. I mean, it's okay if you hit it good. It's a little riskier, though.
Well, he's just
you can
got
see
there.
why it was. You can see why it was riskier, because, you know, he could have hooked himself. But he's okay, and this is pretty simple here. He's just going to run off the end rail and go shoot the 8 in the corner. Now this is where, you know, you just need to know your lines. You need to understand the line the cue ball is rolling on.
You know. Oh dear.
And see, he didn't. And this is what I see people do all the time, is that when you hit that 3 ball, it's going to put left English on the cue ball. And he's thinking, I need to put a little left English on to pull it out. Well, the addition of those 2 left
Yeah.
Englishes ended up meaning he's hooked. And you got to know that. You got to know how much spin's going to come off it. Now, he may have hit that 3 ball just a teeny bit fat, because obviously the angle you come off that 3 ball matters. And, maybe he hit a little fatter than he thought he was going to. But, that's what I'm talking about knowing the line of your cue ball. If you watch really good players play in real life, you will see them roll the cue ball on really good lines all the time. And what Bedhead just did was not a really good line.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost them.
Yeah, it's a golden opportunity to get a break of serve, so to speak, in tennis terminology.
Was a simple situation, whether it was poor execution or lack of knowledge or whatever it was. I mean, it was definitely a failure that shouldn't have happened. But everybody's human. I mean, stuff's going to happen. You can make mental mistakes. I mean, Bedhead's played enough pool. I'm sure he knows that 3 ball is going to put some spin on the cue ball.
Good afternoon to Mal. Mal's come out the woodwork.
Hey Mal, how you doing? I'm glad to see you in here. Looks like you arrived for a what do you call it, a cracking match over there?
Yeah, among other things. But that, Stubb has been let off the hook there big time. Of course.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's going to be some mistakes in this match. I mean, everybody's going to make them, and that was a big one. I mean, if Stubb gets out here, then he's essentially held serve, because it was his dry break this time.
Yeah, I can just see the follow up here. Bedhead, Stubb runs out, Bedhead breaks, comes up dry, and then Stubb runs out, and then the shoe's in the other foot.
Yeah, I mean, it's, the break's the one thing that, I mean, you have some control over it. It's a percentages thing, but there's nothing absolute about it. Okay, and this one isn't terrible. I mean, these side pocket extended, you can get funny, but since it's the last ball and there's a lot of pockets to play the 8-ball in, I mean, it's going to be hard to get wrong on this 11 ball where you can't get a shot.
Well, I mean, he could just go forward, come back into the table, and leave it straight into the top corner. He doesn't want to be moving the cue ball to some strange location. I mean, just going straight across, back across like that.
Yeah, me personally, in real life, I would have shot that in the side pocket. I would have come all the way back across the table, just because, I know I can roll that ball on the line, and you're running into a rail where it's going to slow it down, and you're going to get a good shot, and there's no problem no matter which side of the 11 ball you get on. But this is fine too. All he's got to do is stop the ball, or the VP roll the ball.
So Bedhead's put himself under a little bit of pressure here. It's strange to say, but he should be 3-1 up. Stubbs now tied it up, and Bedhead's got to get the break.
Yeah, it was kind of a silly mistake there, and it's going to cost them. But you got to let that go. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't feel good about it, but you got to let that go. You can't start dwelling on it.
Yeah, he's going second ball, left side of the second ball. Well,
yep,
and he's got a ball. These are broke
again. He's got
again.
a ball. Everything's spread well.
These are good.
The solids and stripes are both good. I mean.
Well, we'll see it now. This is a big fail if he doesn't get this done.
Yeah.
Again, doing the right thing though. He's studying the table.
I'd probably take the solids, but honestly, it really doesn't matter that much. I mean, you can go 12, 14, so on down the table. If I was going to take the solids, I'd shoot the 2-ball right now. 2, 1, 3 and try to get to that 5 next. But, you know, it really doesn't matter here. They're both good.
Well, maybe Bedhead's very relaxed. Maybe he's not studying the table. Maybe he's having a nap. I thought he'd fallen asleep.
Well, you know, you don't want to grind it too much. I mean, they're both good. You know, pick one and go. I mean, I'd take the solids, but it doesn't matter.
Well, tidy up the top of the table. 2, 1, 3, or whatever.
Yeah, I think that's a good pattern. The angle he's got, he might decide to shoot the 3 here. You know, he could even go 5 ball. There's nothing wrong with that either.
He might want to.
If he was a little straighter, he could just roll it. I mean, it's a little bit too much angle, I think, to roll this. He could, but he's going to have to hit it pretty delicately. You know, and going back down between those balls is asking for a potential issue. I think that was a wise choice there. So, you know, the ball that could potentially cause him problems down the road is the 5, and I don't think he's getting to it here. So he's probably going to have to shoot the 6 or 7 next.
You see, if he plays this, and you know, this is a sort of 2-in-1 shot. If he plays obviously the draw off the 3, and tries to get somewhere between the 14 and the 5 itself, he could, if he doesn't get there, he's got the 7 as a bailout. But if he does get there, he's got the 5 up in the top right hand corner. But he's going 7, I think.
Yeah, he's going to go 7, then 6, then 5, and play the 3 last, which is fine. I mean, this is a good shot to get to the 5. I mean, all you got to do is roll it. I mean, that was good thinking. I mean, I didn't see that pattern, but it's a good one.
Well, he's got to watch he doesn't run the 11 into the 8. He's missed that.
The thing is there's always a lot of choices. I mean, some are better than others, but you know, I don't think that choice was a bad choice at all.
Well, this is home and dry now.
Yeah.
We're just asking to be run out that rack.
Yeah, it wasn't a hard rack, but you know, every rack's a little puzzle, and you definitely can make a mistake even on an easy rack, and he didn't.
Well, that's the thing, when you come to the table and you're broke like that, and you sometimes you might take your eye off the ball thinking it is easy to get there, and then things go wrong. That's why you have to, apply yourself 100% no matter what the table's like. You've still got to get it done.
Well, he got a ball, and that was barely getting a ball. That thing's had to stay spinning to keep moving. You know, when the balls are spinning, they'll keep moving across the table longer.
What you done? Have you done an update to this game, Steve? Because these balls are great, so they are.
Today? No, it's still the same.
I mean, think of the amount of crap we saw the other day. Sometimes they're breaking really good.
Well, Stubb almost broke dry there. I mean, this hitting them easier is working for him, and but if the rack's a little loose, that hitting them easy it's kind of a dual-edged sword. The bad news is you probably don't make a ball, but the good news is that the balls are going to be clustered more.
Yeah.
And that's what he did when he didn't make the ball. Bedhead didn't get out. Of course, it wasn't because of the clusters. It's because of that mistake when going to the 8 ball. But they will be tougher to run out if you hit them easy and you don't make something usually.
Well, I think he'll get rid of the 3 right now, I'd imagine, because it's the only one that's up table. He's got plenty to choose from it.
Yeah, normally I would say there's nothing wrong with leaving balls up table, but with enough traffic around there, I think it's not a bad choice to shoot the 3 now. I mean, it's not the end of the world if he doesn't, but I think he's probably going to. Yeah, he's going to shoot the 3, the 4, the 2. I mean, he's got a lot of options for all these balls except for the 5 ball.
Yeah, the 5 balls.
But, you know, I mean, there's a lot of ways to get on that 5 ball. It goes in both those corner pockets down there. He just doesn't want to leave that till the end.
So if he's going to drop the 1 in, and I think he might, if he's dropping his dead weight, he might be playing the 2 to come over to the right rail for between the 4 and the 5 and try and get on the 5 that way into the same pocket he's just potted that in.
I think he is. I mean, the only thing he's got to avoid doing here is hooking himself on both the 13 and the 9. And even then, if he keeps rolling, he's got the 4.
No, he's looking at the 7.
I think he just shoots this 2 ball here. I don't think he wants the 7. Shoots the 2 ball. He can play it to run into the 13 if he wants. That's pretty natural, or a little left English to hold it straight up. Okay, he's playing it to run into the 13, which is, you know, that's a good way to play it. It's very natural. You really don't have to do anything.
Now, does he trust his touch just a little soft draw of this to get on that 7? Or is he going to...
That's what I would be doing.
I mean,
because...
I mean, he could pot the 5 and take the 4 and come across behind the 7 for the 7 on the side. See, he's gone square.
He could have shot the 7 there and come back for the 5, but, you know, you risk bumping the 9 and hooking yourself. I mean, I think the way he shot it was fairly safe. I mean, it's just, you know, obviously draw can be a little touchy, and he was afraid of overcooking it. And,
well, this
you know, but this isn't a bad shot. You just hit this with a lot of inside English and slide straight across for the 4. I'm hoping he's not thinking of going on the other side of the 13-9. I would hit this with a lot of English and come straight across, because that's, you know, it gets rid of the possibility of getting hooked. And even if you bump the 9, you're okay as long as you bump it on the low side. He's got a little bit of right English. He needs a lot of right English. I mean, I would be hitting this with bunches.
He's going to end up top side of the 9.
Yeah, see, that's what you didn't want to do. He got lucky there. I mean, he could put a lot more English on that ball, and, well, you know, he took a chance that he was going to bump. He could have bumped the 9 and been hooked on the 9 or the 13, or, you know, I mean,
straight onto the rail, 8 ball into the side. Can't do anything else with the cue ball, really.
If you watch good players in real life, you would see everyone come on the low side of that 9, because they want to take that possibility of, you know, you cut it a little bit thicker, or, you know, you hit it a little not quite as good, and all of a sudden you know, you bump a ball and you're screwed. They try to take those kind of variables out of the equation.
Good afternoon, Tam.
Hi, Tam.
Gentle Breeze Tam, that's his new nickname. Well, we're all square. Bedhead to break, second and third ball again, I think. This doesn't look as if it's going to be productive.
Yep, well, that's a first dry break for Bedhead. And, you know, the balls are sitting not wonderful. You got problems with the 1 and the 8 ball.
2 balls.
Look at this 1-8.
Locked in the right side.
Sitting in a way that you're probably not making the 8 ball if you try to break that out. You know, the stripes are probably sitting a little bit better, just because you've got 2 balls right down there that you can break the 8 ball out with. So I would be picking the stripes, just because of how the 11 and the 15 are sitting. Now, you are going to have to deal with a 13-9 if you go that way. If you do decide to go with the solids, then, you know, you're probably using the 2 or 3 ball to try to get down and get that 1 ball loose.
Well, what about panicking early on and drawing off that 14, trying to get behind the 10, cut it into the side and run into those 2 balls? That'd be very ambitious. how's he going to deal with them?
Well, he's going to open this up right away, which, you know, I mean, if you're confident you can get that 13-9, this isn't a bad move. If you're not confident you can get to that, then, you know, you're opening up the 8-ball for Bedhead if you don't get out. So,
you know, he's going to try and draw right now, I think. He's going to try and draw right into them.
Me personally, I would have, well, that's actually a pretty dang good shot. I would have tried to get to the 13-9 early, and that's what he's done. So now you've got really the 13 or the 15 are pretty good balls to get to that 1-8. You could definitely do it off the 12 too. I mean, the tricky part here is you can get to this 1 ball right now off that 15, but you know, what shot are you going to come up with? You'd probably have to shoot either the 13 or the 9 down in the corner. I think they both go, although the 13's pretty tight.
Yeah, you need to be behind it, but you can certainly cheat the pocket.
Yeah. But see, you hit the high side of that 1-8, and the cue ball is going to come over here where you should get a shot on the 13 and 9. So you want to hit this with a little bit of high and left English. Now, he's not going to do that. So there's nothing wrong with that, but you still got to get that 1-8 out of there. I probably would have tried to get it loose there because I thought the shot was pretty good as far as getting on those other 2 balls, but you know, we'll see what kind of plan he comes up with here. I mean, the issue that you've got now is that if you get on the 15 to break him out, how are you going to get a shot on the 10 or the 12? I mean, he had an opportunity there where he could break him out and he could get a shot. And I'm not sure that that's going to be the story from where he's at now.
Well, he looks as if he's going all over the place here. I don't know what that was supposed to be.
Well, I think he was trying to break him out with something crazy, which, you know, that was very poorly hit.
Now, why not just run in behind the 8 and 1? I mean, he's probably going to end up hooked, but
I think at this point that's probably a pretty good idea because, you know, this is just going to go downhill. Right now he's got to watch out for the scratch in the corner here.
Well, that's his stub at his best. I mean, he's trying to pull off a shot to stay at the table here when he's got an easy safety. I mean, easy safety would be to finish the left side of that 8-ball and not allow Bedhead get to the 1.
Yeah, you can hit this 10 with low and right English and kill it in the corner and get a shot to go 12 and then 15 and knock the 1 ball off. This is doable. But you got to hit this 10 ball with low right and really kill it so that you can hold the cue ball up for the 12. And see, he did not hit the ball that way. You know, he was going to be funny on that 12. You know, he didn't pick the right shot, really. Even if he made that, it was going to be tough.
So now Bedhead's got that problem to deal with, and he's not really got a great ball near that 8 and 1. I mean, 3 in the side.
The 2 ball is a good ball. The 2 ball is a great ball for that. You know, he's just got to get the right angle. The 3 ball is also a good ball for it. You know, you shoot the 3 in the side and you come around behind and run into it. Yeah. I think he's got plenty of ways of getting to it. He's just got to, you know, decide which way he wants to do it.
Well, that's what all the calculation is about, because that's exactly what he's thinking. How does he, you know, how's he going to get there on one of those balls to break it out?
He's on one right now. Yeah, and this is pretty good.
Now, does he need a little bit of right on this, or is he just going to cut it plain ball?
It depends on the speed he hits it. If he hits it easy, he doesn't. If he hits it harder, he's going to need right and go to the rail and come back. Yeah. The thing he's got to think about is where I'm going to get a shot. And, you know, if you can control it easy, you can shoot the 3 ball. Otherwise,
yeah, just plain ball.
Yeah. And even if he doesn't get that, he's got the 5 if he has to. Yeah, so that was well played. I like shooting it that way because it's nice and controlled. You know, if he couldn't get to that and had to go behind it, he'd have to hit it with some speed, make sure that the cue ball came out, because then you'd probably be playing for the 5 ball. I'm not sure why he did not shoot the 3 ball right then, but hopefully that doesn't come back to bite him.
You know, see, now he's going to have to come back for the 5 and probably just run down to the bottom half of the table, take the 3 into the side on the bottom side of the 10.
I would have shot that 3 right away, because the way, you know, it's another one of those extended from the side pocket balls. Plus, he's got the 10 ball there, and
he's going to play it long.
It's just, you know, he's going to have to play this shot, which I guess in VP isn't that bad, but like in real life, if you did this, you'd be not a very happy camper.
Yeah, just a roll through. He needs to make sure he rolls through, you know, just to get right on it.
Well played.
Well, that'll do. He's running away from it, but it's well off the rail, so it's an easy enough cut. Good afternoon to Tommy.
No trouble here. No trouble at all. Well, that was a well played rack.
Well, the recap on that is that Stubb got himself out of line, went for it, and whoops.
I think Stubb should have tried to break that 8 ball out with a 15. It wasn't that hard. You just had to hit it with high inside, and you were going to get into those balls, and you were probably going to come up with a shot. I just think he made the wrong choice there.
Well, Stubb's got a ball in the break, and everything's down in the bottom half of the table.
Yeah, so I mean, again, that's a softer break, and you know, this is one of these tables that looks easy, and it's not as easy as it looks, because
it's a bit too busy.
You're going to have to move the cue ball through a lot of traffic. I mean, he could take either one. I'd probably take the stripes myself, but I mean, they're both doable.
Well, the immediate problem with the stripes is the one that he's on, the 9 ball. He's got to draw off it if he doesn't want to be running into the 14.
Well, he just slides over and shoots the 12, which is, you know, the 1 ball that's blocked from the corner. He just slides straight across the table. You just got to, if you don't get low enough on, you didn't want to do that.
No,
see that?
No. I mean, that was...
Remember what I said before about bumping balls, how you don't want to bump balls unless you have to, and then only if you can control them?
Yeah.
That's exactly why.
That's the most obvious thing that was going to happen there if you play that. He had to make sure he come away from the 14.
No, he needed to stun that across the table. And he could have shot the 12, and if he got a little too high on the 12 where he was afraid he was going to move the 3 on the 15, he could have shot the 11. That was, well, now at this point, you almost got to think about playing safe, unless you got a plan to get that 14.
Well, the plan is he's going to cut the 11 and smack into him. It's as simple as that.
The problem with that is you may not come up with a shot, because what are you going to shoot? He's probably not getting a shot on the 13 unless he hits it dead on.
No, he's checking it.
Well, now he's making balls, and you know the problem with this is if you don't have a plan. You know, the problem here is you could say, well, I'm going to get on this 12 and then slide up and hit the 14, but are you going to come up with a shot on the 13?
Why not just punch this ball and stop it behind the 3? I mean, he's left Bedhead no shot.
Well, what I would do is I wouldn't just punch it. I'd try to get that 15 set right in front of the pocket and put him on the 3. That way you've got a ball that's blocking the pocket, that's accessible from anywhere, that when you have to break out the 14, it's sitting right in front of it. Like, I would have never shot that and done that, because, you know, he's basically just setting himself up to lose this game. I mean,
well, this is the predictability of Stubb. I mean, he did. I mean, the most obvious thing there was either do what you were talking about or what I was talking about. I mean, at least not give Bedhead a shot. And he's carrying on potting balls.
Yeah. Well, the more balls you pot, the worse it is for you, because he's open for a miracle at this point because he doesn't really have a plan. And if you're going to play this game without a plan, then you're going to get yourself in trouble a lot.
Well, the 14 isn't going anywhere, put it that way. And now he's got himself hooked.
Yeah, it's too bad. If he was a little bit different on this, he could bank it. If he had a little bit more of the 12, he could bank it and slide straight up into that 14 ball and, maybe come out with something. But he doesn't, and now Bedhead's probably going to win the game.
Well, he's certainly going to have stub buried in a second or two.
Well, at this point you're in control because you can play safe. You can play safe and move balls around and get the table the way you want it. You don't have to. There's no rush to try to run out if he doesn't want to. He can just take his time and decide what he wants to do.
He certainly doesn't want to make the wrong move.
Well, the one thing that Stubb did that was good for him is he opened up that side pocket for the 14. So, that did improve the situation for him.
Yeah, 14 does go very tight on the 7.
Yeah, the 7 will go in the corner, but you might have to throw it. It's pretty touchy.
Now I thought he had a slight angle on the 6, so I was going to say there. Here's the committed shot where we're going to draw off the 6 into those balls and open them, but he hasn't got the angle.
He does have a slight angle. It's the wrong one.
Yeah.
I mean, the 2 balls are very good for bumping them and opening them up too, but he's not on that correctly. So, you could shoot the 4 and come around, and you got both the 2 and the 6. Either one you get on with the angle back to the 7, you can move it. If he doesn't like the shot, he can play safe. Okay, so he's choosing this way to get on it. And,
this is the angle.
Yeah, the only bad thing about this is he's probably going to run into the 14 at this angle. And what you don't want to do is hit this easy. Okay, he hit it with some speed, but he hit it with a little too much speed and he missed the 14. The harder you hit that, the more it slides sideways before the draw catches. And he hit that with enough speed that it went by the 14. And now he's got problems.
What's wrong with just rolling that 4 to the side rail and out and leaving the cue ball hooked behind the 7 there and forcing Stubb to break them out?
Well, Stubb doesn't have to break them out. The 14 goes on the side. It's just you got to put him in a spot where if he's going to bank the 12, he doesn't have a way to get on the 14. I mean, that's the key, is that you can leave the guy a bank on that 12. You just got to put it in a spot where he can't run around the table and shoot the 14 on the side.
I was so busy looking at the 7 and the 14, I forgot about the 12.
Well, it was doable. Even if you didn't get him hooked on both balls, that 12 ball is no good unless you can come back and get on the 14. That
Bedhead
just came up with a great shot there.
Well, he looks as if he's going inside and then checking up the table. Yeah, loads of it. He has to get there, though. He has to get there.
Why did he do that? He could have just come across and shot in the side.
Yeah,
I guess guys don't like thin cuts in the side. I mean, in real life, that's a pretty easy shot. I think in VP visually it's a little more difficult. But, he was in a position where he could have come across and got on that really well. I mean, it was pretty much just straight top and come across.
Well, this is 2 racks that Bedhead's had. Not
Well,
necessarily gimmies, but he's found ways to lose the shape at the climax of the rack, and he's looking at losing this now.
I think sometimes players just try to get on balls too good. I mean, I know that I'm guilty of that a lot of times, and I think he would have been better off just taking that 2-ball on the side because he was going to, get pretty good on it almost for sure.
Yeah.
The other mistake he made is that, when you're going to hit a ball with inside English like that at that angle, it's going to kill off the rail. So you've got to hit it a lot harder than you would if it didn't have inside. And, I would think that he knows that, but he came up so short on it, it's almost like he
you know what I think
what do you call it on VP? A mismouse? Like he a Larry trackball, or I don't know what you call that.
A mouse spot. But I think what he was worried about there when he was playing that shot into the side, he had the left English on it. I know you were talking about he needs more pace, but I think he was worried if he put more pace on it and the way the English was working, he could have ended up behind the 12.
Well, that's what, you got to know what your lines are, because when you're trying to fit that ball in there, you've got to be thinking, I'm going to that other long rail, because that really helps you with the speed. It's going to slow down a lot off that rail because, you come up short, you're hooked. So I think that's a matter of you have to be confident you can put the ball on the line you intend.
Well, either way you look at it, it's 2 big fails by Bedhead, and they should be 6-3 in front. That's what it should be.
Yeah, I agree.
And now he's put himself under immediate pressure again, having to get a ball, which he has done. And I don't think he's got a shot, has he? Has he got one down the rail?
Oh, I think he must have something, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got the 9.
Yeah, he's got the 9 ball. The thing about Bedhead's mistakes is they've both been execution mistakes.
Yeah.
Now, Stubb has made ball pattern strategy mistakes, so they're making different types of mistakes. I mean, Bedhead's strategy has been pretty good. I mean, I could be nitpicky about stuff, but he's been pretty good on the strategy. He's just made 2 execution mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, we must be able to see that 13 as well then. Yeah, he can. So
yeah, and I think the stripes look pretty good here. I mean,
yeah, he's got the bailout ball in the side pocket, but he's also got a good ball there over the side pocket to get into that gap to get onto the pink 12 if he needs to.
Well, the 12 goes in the same pocket as 11. I'd imagine he's going to shoot the 12 right after this 11.
Yeah, just come around the corner.
And you almost can't. You got 3 balls there you can get on, and you almost can't go wrong here. I'd probably run it all the way to the long rail above the 9, because
and give yourself a choice.
Play.
Yeah,
above the 12 where you can come down and get you on the 9 ball.
Yeah,
and that's what he's done.
Gives yourself the choice.
Well, yeah, so he can pick what he wants to do. I think he's probably going to shoot the 9 next. Go 9, 12, 10. And the only problem with leaving the 14 is where that 8 ball's sitting. I'm not sure it goes on either corner.
Yeah.
No, it does go in the corner past the 12. So I'd leave the 14 for last.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, he did not hit that very well. I mean, he needed to pull that back a touch, and now he's funny. I guess he's going to be playing 10 last.
Yeah, that bailout ball was handy there. Well, he's got the brush off the 8.
No, now he's going to play the 14 last, because he's not going to shoot the 14 now. That'd be crazy.
Again, he has to just studding this nice and firm.
Yeah, or he could just roll it. I mean, it's available, just rolling it. That's what he's going to do.
Just holding the gap.
You know you're going to get in the gap when you hit it like that. Well, it's another well-played rack by Bedhead.
Yeah, he needed that. I mean, he's probably kicking himself in the shins for that last rack.
Yeah, this is a fantastic match so far.
And back into the lead.
These
Pressure.
guys are showing why they're in the hot seat match because they're
Yeah.
both playing well.
Pressure immediately reverts back to Stubb. And a ball in the break. And, well, I'm giving him this one.
Well, you would think.
Now, 4 ball on the side rail, or just off the side rail.
Yeah, that's not really a problem. I mean, they're both good.
Solids all look good. Stripes look reasonably good.
I probably would have picked the solids too, just because I think they're sitting in a pretty good way to play them. I don't think there's a lot of trouble with either one, but
Yeah, he's got to be out because, I mean, again, you've got the 1 and the 2 down the bottom of the table and the 8 ball sitting next door, so.
yeah. And I like this getting a 1 and 2 now. Well, he didn't. I mean, I don't necessarily think you have to leave balls right in front of the 8 ball as last. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it either.
Well, welcome to all the latecomers. A fair few people have joined.
I think at this point he has to shoot the 5 now. Yeah.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, I think the 2 goes in. Well, yeah, I think the 2 goes in both corners. The natural thing is to roll down the rail here and play the 2 or the 1 next. I would probably go forward with this. You just and let it slide down the rail. So I think the 2 and the 1 are both good in that pocket. Well, he opted not to slide down the rail, so he's just going to shoot the 1, then the 2.
He's got to get this right because the cue ball wants to run away here with this angle, so.
Yeah, but you can run into the 9 ball. Even if he misses it, he's okay. I mean, he's just going to roll this. You don't have to get perfect on it. Oh boy!
You don't want
it with a bunch of inside.
Mm-hmm.
Now I wouldn't have done that. I would have looked at maybe bumping the 9, if anything, on the left side of it. He played a shot where he was being real cautious to get on the 1-2, which I'm not going to fault him for. But if you're going to do that, then you can't do something dumb like this. This was the first time he's made an execution mistake.
Well, you mentioned it earlier there, Steve, that he had a shot on the 1 and the 2 early in the rack there. He didn't take them, and now he's paying the price.
Well, it's that extended ball from the side pocket, and then you got a couple balls close together. And I would have tried to run down from the 7 because I think that was not that hard to do. But the way he played it was fine. He just, the execution from the 1 to 2 was terrible. I mean, I think he was afraid of getting an angle on the 2 ball, but you really did not. If you needed to hit that with left or with right to hit the 9, it was very little. He hit it with a bunch.
Oh, he's played that well.
Yeah, well, I mean, that shot was very doable. That was, probably like a quarter ball masse, and obviously he knows how to play that shot.
Well, he survives. Did his best. His best to mess it up, but he got there.
That was a well played shot. Now it looks like it's time to mute Stubb again.
So we're back all square, 5-all. Bedhead breaking. I didn't hear anything go down.
Stubb hasn't learned that nobody wants to see FTS and BS over and over again.
So Stubb. Now, has Stubb been in front in this match?
I believe he has, but I could be wrong. May have only been
Um,
tied. I know it's been tied at
because
3-3, 4-4.
because Bedhead obviously broke to start and was in the lead, and he was 2-1 up. And I don't think Stubbs been in the lead unless somebody can remember, but he's got another chance here.
Yeah, well, you think he's going to take the solids, and you know, the only issue with the solids is the 5-ball. He could sort of deal with that now. He could go forward and come back and bump the 9-ball. You need to bump it on what would be the right side looking up in the 7-ball. Try to get it out of the way over on a long rail. The danger there is rolling it on top of the 5. But the 5-ball, you know, it's a little tricky to get on. I mean, it'll go on the side and the corner, but the room there near the rail is small. Now, he could come back and try to shoot it here. He could hit this with top and left and come back down the rail and try to get on that 5-ball. And he's got 2 pockets to do it on. And he opted to do neither of those. So it'll be interesting to see what his plan is to play on that 5-ball.
I don't know what he tried there. Maybe he did try to bump something, but I mean, he's lucky he's on a shot, but I don't know.
I mean, he had the shot where he could have hit it with top left and gone 2 rails and come back and tried to shoot the 5. Now, that wasn't without danger. You could put yourself right on top of that 5-ball. I mean, I'm not sure what he was trying to do there. And trying to get on this where he can bump the 5 is near impossible. I'm not sure what he's going to do. I mean, this is... He can obviously move the 9-ball here.
I think he's going down for the 3.
Well, he may try to go 2 rails and into the 5-ball. Well, that's another option. You know, go end rail, long rail, and into it. I think that's what he's doing. He's going to try to go 2 rails.
He's got left.
There it is. And bump it. Okay, well, I mean, he's got a shot in the corner on it now, so he succeeded. The thing I like about that is he hit that in control. I mean, that shot was obviously there. I saw it. I mean, he saw it. But, you know, a lot of players have a tendency to blast those, and he didn't. You know, he played it with some control, and it was really well done. He got a little unlucky where the 5 ended up, but he's still got a shot. I mean, I think this shot, if you're going to try to get on the 1-ball in the same corner, you have to hit this with inside English, and it's at an angle where that would be real hard to miss the 1. But that would be the only way. You'd have to hit it with low right English and try to get the cue ball to draw right away. He's going to opt to go the other way, and nothing wrong with that. The problem here is really going to be getting on this 3-ball. I mean, I think he's going to have to shoot the 2 next.
Well, from where he is right now?
Yeah, the angle he's got getting on the 3 is...
There's no way he's playing difficult. That 2-ball. I mean, that 2-ball's...
No, I mean the 5 and then the 2.
Yeah.
He's got to play the 5 now. He's got it. I mean, it's just getting on the 3-ball, I'm saying, is going to be tricky. I don't think he can from the 5. Does it go in that pocket? No, it doesn't go in that pocket. I'm not sure what he was trying to do. Well, maybe he was trying to get around the corner and get a little angle on it.
This is Stubb at his best, because he's going to have to blast this in to get the draw in between the 15 and the 12.
You don't have to blast it, but obviously you got to hit it with some speed to get it to draw back. You know, that much distance between the cue and the 2-ball. You've got to hit this with some pace.
Yeah, in the Stubb vernacular, it's blast. Here we go.
Yeah, well, you got to be careful about, you know, see, he tried to hit it with a lot of speed and not a lot of low Q-tip position and get it to come up, and he just didn't have the Q-tip quite low enough. But he was saying, I'm not going to hook myself on the 12.
He didn't get the stun draw to work there. Oh,
Oh, that ball barely went in.
well, look at where
You
he's
know what
got
happened?
himself now.
Well, it's because he hit the 3-ball thin. You know, he hit the 3-ball thin, and that's why it barely got to the hole, and that's also why he's got this angle left on the 8. If he would have hit that 3-ball the way he meant to, he would have had a much easier shot on this 8-ball. But I expect him to make this. I mean, obviously it's not a gimme, but it's also not super difficult. And one thing Stubb does well is he does pocket balls well.
Yeah, that'll do it. So Stubb into the lead, and he's stolen the break as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, he deserves to be in the lead. I think at this point he's played
Cue
better.
ball.
Of course, I guess that was commentator's
That was
curse
that was you. You were talking, Steve. It was nothing to do with me. I was just watching what was happening, so nobody can blame me. You said he's shooting well. That cursed him. Well, anyway, Bedhead got to deliver.
Well, I mean, I think this table is sitting pretty good. I think the solids are a little better. I kind of expect him to take those. But, you know, they're both doable. I'm not sure what he's going to start with here. He's looking like, boy, I might just go 5, 6, 2, 1. I might try to go that way and get all those balls out of there, you know, because that's where there's traffic. He looks like he may go 4, 1, 2, which is fine also.
He's got the angle in the 1.
He's going to shoot this 1 and
bump the 9.
Run up and bump the 9. The only problem with that, he's going to end up on the wrong side of the 2 for getting to the 6, but no, that's not the end of the world.
I think he's on the 2. Yeah, he's on the 2.
Oh, he is on the 2. Well, then he's going to shoot that now. I mean, he can get to the 1 from here. He's got to hit this 2 ball with left English to get to the 1. And that's what I would imagine he's going to do here. There's no reason to not go 2-1 because you don't want to leave that 1 ball. And right now he's got the Q-tip in the middle of the ball. He needs to get left English on this and make sure he slides that cue ball over.
He doesn't want to brush the 8 onto the 6 and lock it up.
I don't know what he's doing here, but it's not good. Yeah, he's going to go this way. That'll work. I mean, he got himself the right angle on the 6, but, you know, that could have gone funny where he got an angle on the 6 where he couldn't get to the 1. You get on the, you get on the long rail side of it, you're screwed, and you get a little more angle on it than this, and you're screwed. I mean, he had to get real good on it, and he ended up. I would have gone the other way, but I think he's fine. He just needs to make sure he gets on this 1 ball, something like this, where he's got some angle.
He needs to get out of there.
Yeah, well, he's fine. He's got plenty of angle. I mean, this is just going to be top left English, maybe less top and more left. And
skim past the 15, and you see he's run into the 15.
Well, that's just not putting enough English on the cue ball. I mean,
you had to skim past the 15 and the 12, get up into the middle of the table to cut the 5.
Yeah, I mean, Bedhead has done this over and over again, where he chooses very conservative Q-tip positions, kind of like almost as a rule, which, you know, yeah, you don't want to put a ton of English on it when you don't have to, but there's times when you have to, and that was one of them, and he didn't, and we've seen him do that a couple of times.
He's overdone it.
Yeah, well, that. You know, he got a have to perform shot. You know, that's not an easy shot with that much distance, having to spin the ball over.
Well, this is like feeding raw meat to the lions, this, because Stubb will lap this up.
Yeah, but, you know, those are those situations that I was talking about before, where you got a bunch of balls and traffic, and it's real critical that you play the right angles and right patterns. And, you know, the worst thing about it is the pattern he played wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't what I would have done, but it was perfectly fine. But then he made a silly execution mistake on the 1 ball. And that's the 3rd time he's done that this match, where he's had fairly simple situations and he just made an execution mistake. This is a very interesting match because the types of mistakes these guys making are not the same types. I mean, they're both making mistakes, but they're completely different kind of mistakes. With Bedhead, it's more execution. With Stub, it's more strategy. I don't think he wants to shoot this 10 ball now. I think he's going to shoot the 13 and draw back. Yep. That's the right play. Well, not a whole lot of drawback there. I'm kind of surprised he didn't pull back where he had a shot for the 9 or the 10. You know, you pull it back, you've got both balls you can shoot. I mean, he's okay, but that was a little surprising to me that he played that way.
Yeah, I don't believe he wanted to finish there. Let's just say that and be diplomatic, because I think he needed to get into the cue ball a bit more.
Yeah, you got to think he didn't want to be there. I mean, it was hard to really mess that up. If he overdrew it, he still could shoot the 9, and if he really overdrew it, he'd have the 11. I mean, I'm not quite sure what he was thinking there. Well, he cannot run it for the 11 here unless he goes in the corner, because the side is going to run into the 10.
As Clint would say, Slim, I like a man that knows his limitations. You stick to 3 ball.
Well, you know, the tricky thing here is that, you know, getting to the 10 ball for the 11 is not going to be that easy. I mean, I think he's going to have to shoot the 10 in the side pocket.
What's the angle like?
Well, he's got enough room that he can shoot the 11 and get by the 3 ball and come down and shoot the 10 in the other corner. But if you mess that up and hit the 3, you're screwed. This isn't a terrible place to be. I mean, I think he's going to come down and shoot this 10 in the side pocket or the corner pocket. I mean, he's definitely got to come down table here.
Yeah, the problem is he's stuck to the rail for that. So,
yeah, but that's where, you know, you're just going to want to take a more natural path. Well, he's going to shoot the 10 now, which this can go wrong if you don't get the speed right.
Yeah.
It can go. I think he's
maybe
good enough. Yeah, he's barely got out there. I mean, I'm not going to knock that choice because it was, you know, he liked the shot, he hit it well, and he's going to get out doing that.
And he's got the pace right, and he's going to be 2 racks in front. So, Bedhead needs a favour. And he needs a ball and a shot.
Yeah, he's in a spot where he really needs to make one on the break. If he breaks dry and, you know, Stub runs out, it's going to start getting tough. Yeah, he's got one. And it's not the easiest table in the world, but let's see.
Oh, it's got to be solids.
Well, it doesn't have to be. I mean, I'm not sure he's got a good shot on the stripes. I mean, if that's what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, he could cut the 14.
Yeah, he could shoot the 14 if he wants. I mean, I think they're both fine. The solids, I think, are a little less good just because he's got a lot of balls close to the rails.
10
which
ball
tends to make it a little trickier.
10 ball, plenty of room past the 7.
The thing is he can get rid of 3 balls close to the rail, 2, 1, 5 right now, and, you know, then they look a lot better. And I think that's what he's going to do. He's probably going to shoot the 5 now, maybe 2, 5, 1. And it looks like he's going to shoot the 1 maybe. See, I like getting rid of these balls close to the rail, especially that 5 ball where it's like just about frozen on it, because you know, those balls are, it's harder to move the cue ball off of them, and the shot's, a tougher shot.
I think you've got a point, because he might not get a better shot in this 5.
Yeah, I mean, why not shoot it right now when it's like, this is kind of like a great time to shoot it?
I mean, it's a couple of millimeters off the rail.
Yeah. See, well, you know, Bedhead has done this a lot where he's not played a pattern that I thought was the best pattern, but he hasn't played a terrible pattern and he's managed to get out. I mean, it hasn't really bit him much this match. I mean, he's been able to run out with the patterns he's playing.
Well, he's failed. He's failed big time twice. Don't forget. You know, he's.
Well, but those have been more execution mistakes than pattern mistakes. I mean, I just, you know, I see that 5 ball sitting there, and God, now's a great time to shoot it. And why, you know, why shoot the 4? The 4 was not really a problem ball. I mean, he's probably going to end up getting there anyways. But
he's going now.
It just seems like you make the puzzle a little harder by doing that. Well, yeah, he's hitting this with just a touch of right English, which is how you want to hit it.
Well, your favourite ball sitting there, Steve, that's still sitting there. That 6 ball.
Yeah, I mean, the 6 ball could be a potential issue if you get on it funny. I mean, ideally here you'd shoot the 6 next.
Yeah.
And he's gotten on it funny. I mean, that.
Nice.
I think he's okay. He can roll forward and shoot the 3 in the corner, and the cue ball is going to go past the 10 off the long rail and shoot the 8 in the corner by the 13. I think he's just going to roll this up forward.
Yeah, he should be fine unless he just rolls it and somehow finishes over behind the 14.
Well, he decided to go, you know, more aggressive with it, which is fine. I mean, that's a good shot. I mean, now he can just roll this one. Matter of fact, I like that better than what I was thinking, because that was simple shot on the 3 ball.
So now, Bedhead's waiting on this favour. Is it going to happen now, or is Stubb going to stretch his lead?
Well, the ball's broke well.
Nothing's going
in.
Well, here
the balls really came apart, but nothing went in. That was actually kind of bad luck there for Stubb, because he hit that break well. The ball scattered well, and he came up dry.
Well, Bedhead's got to deliver this time. He's got to get this back on level terms. He knows that. And we all want it to be back in level terms. We want it to go the distance.
Yeah, well, they're both good. I mean, it's hard to call the stripes or solids one better than the other. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of problems on this table. I mean, he should be able to run this out.
Yeah, Bedhead's been in the lead most of the match, as far as I can recollect.
I like him shooting a 6 ball then. Get rid of that side ball extended, side pocket extended, right off the bat.
So that's the
He's
last.
Probably thinking of leaving a 3 ball for his last ball.
Yeah.
And he should be able to do that. I mean, as long as he gets on this 2 right, he should be, you know, able to get on the 7 where he can come out easily for the 3.
He might come out. Oh no, I thought he was going to come out into the middle of the table there.
Well, this is, you stun this thing over, leave yourself a little cut back angle. Even if he gets more straight on it, I think he's okay. He's looking at the 3, but the shot is just to stun the 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it really can't go wrong, because you can get on that 7 ball a bunch of different ways and be fine. I mean, he's a little uncomfortable with this, but guys, this is just real simple, because you stun this, maybe you have to hit it with a teeny bit more speed than normal, and you're fine.
He's looking for
I'm
problems
not sure why
here.
he's going to the 3 ball here.
I mean, you take the 2, back out for the 7, plenty of room to get on the 3, and now he's dead straight.
He's just asking to get funny.
He's dead straight in the 7.
The thing is that was obviously, that 2 ball stun shot was a shot that he was not comfortable with, and I understand that, but for a guy that plays his level, he should be able to shoot that shot, in his sleep. it's not that difficult a shot. I'm kind of surprised that he went the way he went.
Now what's he doing? Is he going to try and just drop into the bottom corner here? No, he's playing the big draw. He's trying to pinch. He's trying to pinch the pocket here to come up the right side, and that's a big fail. I mean, that's horrible.
Did he try to hit that off the 11 ball?
Yeah,
is that what he was doing?
Well, he was trying to do that, or try to hit it in the left side of the pocket to create the angle to come behind the 2. So that all went wrong. I don't know why. I mean, even I can see that you take the 2 ball and go into the 7.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's a comfort level thing, and what players do when they feel a little pressure is they go to what was comfortable, and obviously he was not comfortable shooting that 2 ball. What I see in real life is players, like a B type player or a weaker A player. What they tend to do is they tend to draw the ball too much because that's sort of their comfort shot. And I've been there. I mean, and the thing is when you get nervous, I'm playing Oscar Dominguez, and I mean I've dead nuts got him. I mean I've got the easiest little 3 foul in the world. He's on 2 fouls, and what do? My palms start sweating, and I go low on the cue ball when I should have just rolled it, and I don't get him, and he gets lucky, and I end up, I had him 7-6 in a race to 8, and I end up losing because I did that go to my comfort shot, and all you guys listening, you got to get away from that, competing, because it's cost me some big matches because I did that, and I know that mentality, and I think that's what Bedhead just did there. He wasn't comfortable shooting a 2 ball, so he didn't. Yeah, but it was the right shot.
I mean, it was so glaringly obvious, It's just, again, you talk about making things simple. What was simpler than just stunning the 2 in? You've got a nice angle in the 2. The cue ball can only go one direction, off the rail, back out onto the 7. And I mean, that's a huge fail. Huge fail.
Well, I mean, he knows it. I mean, but the thing about failing is that you got to look at it as an opportunity to learn. I mean, if I'm Bedhead, then, I'm going to come back and look at this match, and I'm going to look at my choices and, say, well, why did I do that? What could I do better? Because it's an opportunity to learn.
Well, the first question I would ask Bedhead is what did you see wrong with the 2 ball? What was wrong with the 2 ball? That's what I would want to know.
I think it's just a comfort thing. He wasn't comfortable shooting the shot because he was going to have to stun it with speed. He just wasn't comfortable. I mean, I can't think of any other reason why, because, it was sitting right there for him. Yeah. So, I mean, I think you got to look at this as opportunity, because a lot of people talk about like, oh, he's going to be scarred from that and this and that. I've dogged my brains out and lost lots of money. I've missed shots that cost me a ton of money that I never should have missed. And like tournament final, missed the 8 ball playing 9 ball where it was just like, you'd be going nuts. You would be talking about what an idiot I was. But the thing is you can't look at that as it's going to scar me. You got to look at it as I got a chance to learn something from this, because next time I'm in that situation and I'm nervous or this or that, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to shoot the ball too quick, or I'm not going to go to my comfort shot. And I think, if Bedhead loses this match, he's, which I think he's probably going to at this point, he's going to go back and look at that and hopefully learn from it.
Yep, he's come up dry, trailing by 2, stub at the table.
Yeah, and the solids are way better than the stripes. The only thing the stripes got going for them is where that 9 ball sitting is you can move a lot of balls there, or at least the 12. I don't know if you can get into the other ones. Uh-oh, he missed it.
He's okay as far as that goes, but he could be in trouble in a minute.
Well, this is going to be interesting because, this table's difficult, to get to the stripes, and the 8 ball is blocked by the 6. Now, obviously, it'll bank, which would probably be the play, is not try to move that, just play and shoot the bank. And I mean, one thing I know in this game is guys don't bank that well. I mean, you guys should be playing bank pool and get better at banking, because like that 8 ball there, that's an easy bank. I mean, if you can get,
and you should get 2 good balls to get on it as well.
Yeah, and that's an easy bank shot. So we'll see what he does. I mean, right now he's got to get some of those stripes loose, and I think this is going to be tricky. He doesn't want to shoot the 9 now. He's got to shoot the 13, because he needs to shoot the 13 and get an angle on the 9 back into the corner so he can get into that 12 ball. And maybe just bump that 12 ball. I wouldn't have shot that. I would have shot the 13, 9 into the 12, and then shot the 14 and come back into these. He's playing a strategy to play safe. I mean, this isn't bad. I mean, that's not a bad play, except for the fact that, the plus is he covered the 2 ball. The minus is that, the 10 still doesn't go. Well, the 10 does go, maybe, but not where he can get to the 15.
Yeah, but the 7's a big target. I mean, it's not difficult.
The 15 does go. Yeah, I mean, he's got a way out of this. I'm just looking at what Bedhead did. Is he did improve his lot there, so that's not a bad play. I mean, he can get to those 3 balls. They're tight, but there's a way to get to them. Oh, watch out. Well, and I would consider that a fail, because that was not a hard ball to kick it. I mean, for a player at the level these guys are, they've got to be able to hit that. It's a huge ball with it on the rail. I mean, obviously, if you're going to make a mistake to one side or the other, you want to be on the long rail side. I mean, that's where the ball's biggest. You should almost be shooting to hit that on the far side of that ball, because the rail is going to help you. And from here, I think Bedhead's got a good chance to run out, because he's going to get on this 15 ball.
Well, you tried it there, I think.
Well, see, that was a mistake, because Well,
it's poor because he had ball in hand and didn't get there anyway in the first place.
I mean, it's not like these 3 balls are going to be easy, because you can get to them, but getting to them where you can run all 3 of them out isn't guaranteed. I think he should have gone to those balls then. But on the plus side, he's smart enough to realize that, now is not the time. Now, Stubbs got the same shot again.
Take 2.
He needs to. He doesn't have to make this ball. He just needs to make sure he doesn't foul, because I think if he bumps this ball, Bedhead's still in a lot of trouble.
Almost got the line.
Okay. That time he went to the big side of it, but he went too far to the big side of it. All right, now are we going to be smarter? He may try to play safe and move the 8 ball, which isn't a bad move. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong if you can get safe and move the 8 ball. It looks like he's going to play the 10 off the 13 and try to run into the 8, which is not a bad play, because he can lock Stubb on the 15. I actually like this play a lot.
That's a good shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure he got himself a shot on the 8, though. The problem is the 6 ball was covering the pocket. He needed to hit that with a lot more speed, because
6 balls blocking it.
He's not in any better shape. I mean, he had a great opportunity there. He played the right shot, and he just didn't play it the right way. I mean, if he hits that with speed, that 8 ball comes out and he's got a shot. And it's not like he wasn't going to get the hook. All he had to do was stop the ball. Is Stubb ever going to hit the 7 ball is a question. Well, he did, and he almost hit it in a great way, but where he might have got a hook, but he didn't.
Right.
Well, now we're going to find out what Bedhead's got in the tank. I mean, You know, he still has a bank shot, but it's going to be a tough bank shot. He's got to bank it down in the corner and get it past a 2-ball that's partially covering the pocket. I mean, he's probably going to try to move it right now.
Yeah.
I think that was probably a wise play at this point to try to move it because, you know, I probably wouldn't have tried to move it before. I would have just played for the bank, but that bank was going to be pretty tough. I think moving it was the right play.
Cut onto the 6.
Yeah, I think Stubbs going to get out here. I mean, Bedhead had plenty of chances, and I think all the safety play was fine, but you know, when he did have that really good chance to move the 8, he didn't move it far enough, and that's going to cost him.
Is anybody else hearing an echo?
Am I echoing? Does anybody else hear echo?
I don't know. It's maybe the way Discord is set up.
I'd imagine he's going to try to get on the 2-ball here. Oh, he's rolled too far. Well,
I got the rescue shot in the 1.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get on the 2-ball, but, you know, well, the shot here now is you can play shape for, you know, you try to roll the ball back up where it's going to end up around where the 1 ball is, because then you got the 2 or the 4. It gives you 2 balls to play shape on. And that's what he's doing. Well, he's come a little wide, so he's got to get on the 2. So I don't like that play. I would have come up more where the 1 ball was, because if you roll funny, you still got a shot on either the 2 or the 4. He's lucky to have the shot on the 2-ball running on that cue ball line. And that's sort of the same thing Bedhead did before, was, you know, didn't compensate for the English. He may have been trying to play it out there, but, you know, he's a couple inches away from being hooked on that line. Oh, boy. Run ball. All right, I think you got there.
Yeah, it's a tall order now for Bedhead. He's failed far too many times. So Stubb with a 3-rack lead with the break. Still breaking centre ball.
He's got a ball down. Let's see what he comes up with there. Well, I think he's going to be playing the stripes, but they're sitting good. I mean, the 14 and the 12 are the 2 balls that are potentially going to be a little trouble, but the 14 goes up table, so, and the 12 goes in both. And that 12 ball is frozen to the rail. So I don't know if he's bothered to look at that, but when the ball's frozen to the rail like that,
oh, you know, yeah, that is glued to the rail.
That's something you want to pay attention to.
Yeah.
He best not try to shoot this 12 ball up in the up table, because it's, you know, trying to shoot that past the side pocket. See, I would have thought he would have gone over and maybe tried to get on the 14 there. The problem here is he's running out of balls to get on that 12 ball. I think he's going to have to shoot the 11 and draw back and either shoot the 9 or the 14. I would probably try to draw back and shoot the 14, and if you get an angle, maybe you can slide over for the 12, although it's a little risky where that side pocket is. You got to control your line.
Yeah, that's the only thing that Bedhead's got to hang on to here, that Stubb can't get good on that 12.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he's at an angle where, boy, if you can avoid the 5, I mean, rolling this, it looks like it's going to hit the 5 ball, because you want to just get right by that 5 ball. Now he's going to look at shooting a 12 up in the corner, and you know, with it frozen to the rail, that's not an easy shot. Now, one thing you know on VP is that side pocket tip doesn't shoot out further on one side than the other, so you're at least guaranteed of that. Hello to Stephen Thompson.
Yeah, that's Spud Boy.
Spud Boy. Oh boy. Well, now he's got a have to perform shot. This is going to be tricky. Because getting under that one ball is mighty tough. I'm not sure what he's going to do here. I think you almost have to kind of stun this thing and try to get it to slide. I'd probably try to slide this in between the 1 and the 5.
Yeah.
You could try to hold it and come on the pocket side of the 5. But yeah, I like trying to move this in between the 1 and the 5 ball. I mean, it's not easy, but that's yeah. Well, that's what you didn't want to do. Looks like he's shooting a bank shot. This bank shot's doable. I mean, you can cut this down the rail with inside. You can hit this with a lot of left English and cut it down the rail, but I think the bank's the shot to play. Now, the tricky part is getting on it. I mean, he's going to have to go 3 rails behind the 1 ball and, come out past the 7-5 to get a shot here. He's got to avoid the 3 ball, which I think is pretty natural to avoid it. You got to cut this ball a little more than it looks. The mistake people make on this shot is they don't cut it enough. I would spin this too. I would spin this with some left English, because you want to get it to open up and run, and the left English will help you with some of this cut, but you need to cut this a lot.
Well, he's just going plain ball at the moment.
Well, he double kissed it.
Yeah, double kissed on it.
I think he needed to cut that more. Boy, that's that was all planning though. Is that he should have tried to get on that 14 and slide across for that 12 ball earlier, because I don't know if he noticed it was frozen to the rail, but if he didn't, then he should have looked, and if he did, then he should have tried to get to it sooner. I mean, that again was a strategy mistake there.
Yeah, it needed more urgency to deal with that problem. So that was Bedhead's lifeline.
Yeah, well, he had a chance to, put Bedhead in a spot where he probably wasn't going to be able to recover from, and now he's got some life. I mean, granted, it was not an easy situation. I mean, there was nothing easy about that run out, but I think if he would have played a better pattern, he would have had a better chance of getting out.
Well, I don't think my nerves would hold to cut that into the side. I'd be just rolling the 3. Well, I think that's what he's doing. Roll the 3 in, leave an angle of some description in the 1 so you can get back out.
I would too. Oh boy.
Well,
he's getting pretty straight on it.
Yeah, he's going to have to.
Well, he can go forward. He can go forward hard.
You used to watch that.
It'll get to the long rail here.
Got to watch that middle pocket.
No, it won't go in the pocket. I mean, the only way you could hit that in the side pocket was to not hit enough speed, and he really didn't hit enough speed. He should have come down table some for it, but you would have had to hit that pretty easy to get the cue ball on the side. Because the harder you hit it, the more it's going sideways first before it goes forward. So that shot, if you did anything, you'd want to hit it too hard, not too easy.
So Bedhead, well, he can only run this rack, and he'll still be back within 1. Got a ball, a couple of balls.
Oh, yeah, he's got a wonderful table here.
Cue balls in play, and take
I'd
it
imagine
back.
he's going to take the stripes there because of the 14 ball.
Yeah.
That's what I'd be doing. And he's got a perfect angle on this 11 to go to 11 to the 13. I think he can squeak by it. He might going to shoot the 13 on the side. That's fine too. He's getting rid of this 1 ball that was blocked. Yeah, this is the easiest out that we've seen this whole match. I mean, this is what he needed too. I mean, this is, Easy peasy.
Yeah, well, that's you custom. You're custom, Steve.
Yeah, I would hit this I would hit this 13 ball right now with some left English. I mean, even if you're running to the 6, you're okay. I mean, I'm sorry, right English, because you want to get up as high as you can on that 9 ball. Yeah, and that's fine because this is just this is natural to go behind the 3 ball.
Now, is he playing this dead weight behind the 3 ball, or is he playing to get to the bottom rail?
Just roll it.
He's playing to get to the bottom rail.
He went. I would have gone behind the 3 ball. He was taking a chance there. He nicked the 3 ball. I mean, he could have come out bad. That was pretty easy to get behind the 3 ball. You just cut it less, and it's gonna go on that line.
Now he needs to get out away from that 4 ball.
Well, I mean, the simple way to play this is come back to this long rail. You just want to run this where the cue ball is now, run on the path where you're going to come back and hit the long rail there. You can't get hooked by the 4 unless you bump it on the wrong side.
Well, he's going to play it. Well, he's got himself.
Yeah. See, that's just lack of confidence in being able to move the cue ball. I mean, maybe that's one of the reasons I don't play VP good, because I would have gone the other way like I would in real life, but
oh, he used all the pocket there.
Did that almost missed it.
Did that hit the first diamond past the middle pocket?
It hit way up there. I mean, he took something simple and made it tough.
Well, he's back within 1. And Stubb.
Well, I mean, Stubb's still in control if he can hold serve.
Yeah, got a ball.
Question is what's he going to do here? I probably like the stripes a little better, but I mean the solids are doable too.
Well, it's really busy down here.
Yeah, I mean, and this is where you got to play a good pattern.
Oh,
or you could just dog it right off the bat.
What a big mistake that might be. That remains to be seen.
Yeah, he just coughed up a fur ball there. That was brutal. That's an unexpected miss from a guy that's a very good ball pocketer.
Well, Bedhead now is going to be taking his time because he's been handed a free go here, and he's going to have to try and make the most of it.
I don't like this shot.
He's running into the 15, isn't he?
Yeah, I don't like running into the balls. I mean, they're sitting where everything goes. I mean, I'd probably just take the stripes again. I mean, everything's sitting pretty good. See, that's why you don't want to do that, because now look what he's got. Now things just got way, way tougher.
Yeah.
The 7 ball doesn't go. He has no shot on the 6. The 2 ball doesn't go. I mean, that's just, just take the stripes.
Yeah.
You say, oh, well, the solids are better. Well, the solids are better maybe if you're sitting perfect where you got a perfect shot on the 3, not when you start bumping into balls. Yeah, that was just...
I mean, everything about that shot was wrong. I mean, you're playing the cut in the 4, on the, the 3, and you're running into the 15, and now he's sort of killed 2 balls with 1 shot.
He could have shot the 13 and then the 12 or the 11. I mean, there's no problems at all playing the stripes. I don't get that. So he might get out here, but he's made his task much more difficult.
Right. So, now we've got to think then, how does he improve the situation with these 2 balls down the bottom of the table? Bearing in mind he's got nothing much to work with.
Well, I mean, he can...
I mean, he's going to have to take a risk right now, miss the 8 ball, and run into something.
I think he was trying to get on the 2 ball there. And the bad thing is he bumped it. He had a bank shot on the 2 ball if he didn't bump it. Now he's got nothing.
Now he's trying. Is he trying to draw into the 2 and push the the 15 in? Let's have a
No,
look.
he can't get to the 2. I mean, he's in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah.
Well, if that 10 ball wasn't there, I'd say just roll the 2 into the 15. Because try to get some cover. Well, he's got a shot where he can shoot the 7 in the side pocket. He's going to go forward with this. You know, this isn't a terrible shot, but where that 15's sitting, he's got to hit this perfect to get it to follow in. He may have been playing it that way. That may have been what he was playing, was with the cue ball. I mean, that's a really smart move if he was. I mean, that was really a beautiful shot.
Now he's got loads of inside left on this to check it and grip the rail to leave that 8 in the side, and he's got there.
Well, he made a big mistake up at the front, but he managed to overcome it. So props to him.
I mean, the first shot with Stubb was the big fail there. He missed the pot, and now, all of a sudden, we are all square, guys.
Yeah, Bedhead's got a chance to get on the hill first, which would put himself in control.
Oh, he's got a ball. Where's the cue ball? Is it still live? Yes, it is. Now, how about... well, I'm just looking to see whether the 5 would go past the 9, but it doesn't. Not the 9, the 12. So this is a mess.
The 7-6 is playable, but it doesn't leave the 7 ball in a good spot. I mean, yeah, this is rough. Neither one are sitting that great. Boy, this is all kinds of trouble, this table. I'd probably take the solids but there's no easy shot on them. I mean, playing that 4 ball. Oh, I didn't know he could shoot that ball. That's not a bad shot at all. Yeah, the 6 will go, and the 7 will go also. He's going to have to deal with that 5 ball. The 5 ball, you can play that off the back of the 12, and that's what I was kind of thinking for the first shot, was he shoots the 5 ball off the back of the 12 because there's a real big pocket with that 4 ball there, but he didn't decide to do that. I think his choice wasn't bad because it opened those things up some down there, so I can't fault him for that. But, you know, he's still got that shot if he wants it later. It's that 5 off the 4.
Now, how's the angle on the 3?
Back of the 12.
What about running the 3 in and running down to get the split in those 2 balls as he is at the moment?
Yeah, he could do that. He's got an angle where he could shoot it right now. I think that's a good idea. Run it down and run into the 12 ball. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's probably the best way to do it because he's on it at a good angle. Yeah, I didn't really like that shot that much.
Well,
see, this is one thing you guys probably never play. But if you play 8 ball a lot, especially bar table 8 ball, that 5 ball off the back of the 12 is not that hard a shot. I mean, if you haven't played it much, it might be a little tricky for you. But you know, you just hit the 5 ball into the rail, come off the back of that 12, and you just hit the 12 at the right angle. The 5 ball goes right down to the pocket and makes a 4.
Well, the way this is going, if he doesn't take the opportunity off the 3.
Oh boy, he got a little too cautious there and missed the ball. Yeah, I think he should have done what you said, Hugh, and shot that 3. But you know, honestly, think he should have shot the 5 off the back of the 12, the very first shot he had, instead of shooting the 1 ball, because the 7-6 went before he moved him.
Now you're talking about, I've got it on the screen. You're talking about shooting it off the back of the 12, like hitting the 5 into the rail, and hitting the 12, and then nudging the 4 in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that shot's actually shot quite a bit in 8-ball. Probably not in pub 8-ball because the pockets are tougher, but and on a pool table, that's a pretty common shot.
Yeah, well, this is the thing about. I mean, I talk about players. Their stub missed another one. I talk about players visualising shots. You know, you've got to look at situations like that where you can make a shot. It's not being clever, but you know, you look at it, you visualise it. If I hit that ball into the rail and hit the back of it, it's like trying to play a it's like trying to play a kick shot with English on a ball that's down table on the short rail. You know that if you kick it and you get it wrong, the cue ball's going to scratch along the rail sometimes. But that shot there, there was nothing wrong with the shot you called.
Right here, I like the other side of the 7. See, what I would have done there is hit the other side of the 7 and come back there and hit the long rail, bump the 6, move the 6 to the end rail so that you have a shot at it, and lock up stub on the 8-ball.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's just not seeing those shots. He played a shot off the other side of the 7, which, it gives him a shot where he can play a combo, but he lets stub to the table. And Stub can come in here and bump that 13 ball into the 6 and lock everything up there for him. I mean, he had a chance to hit a game-winning shot there on the other side of that 7 ball.
Well, that's a huge. See, that's Stub letting it run.
Yeah, well, maybe his strategy was to wait for Stub to do something stupid and clear up his problem.
Stub just
solved his problem for him.
Yeah. That's the kind of shots I'm talking about that Stub will do. He'll do something like that and hope to get lucky, and you can't be doing that. Not in the situation he's in.
We talked about this at the beginning, is that if it became a strategy type match, that Stub was probably going to lose, and this is a great example of it. Is Bedhead plays the wrong shot, could have had a game-winning shot, and what Stub do? Stub not only misses the ball, but clears out all Bedhead's problems so he can run out. Gives him ball in hand so he can get to the ball that was a problem. I mean, that was definitely the worst shot of the whole match. It's going to cost them this match probably.
Yeah, just a little dink in between the two, but not too heavy, just to stay in the 7. Maybe need to dink it more than that.
Bedhead, if you watch this match later, think about this shot I was talking about on the other side of the 7 ball and bumping that 6 and locking Stub on the 8 ball. That would have been that was a game winner on that shot.
Well, I think we want to make a list for Bedhead to go look at. He wants to go look at that 2 ball.
Well, think about Bedhead is he probably will. He wants to get better. Stub, I don't think he's ever going to change.
No.
I mean, he granted he dogged that 1 ball, which, that was bad and it let Bedhead back in the match. But, the thing I'm going to look at is where he really is losing this match is that crazy shot he tried, failed on. And he's going to sit there and look at it like, oh, I got unlucky, I scratched.
Yeah.
Well, he's never been shooting that shot. That was insanity.
If you're going to run the cue ball at that pace, you're going to run into trouble.
Well, he should have just made a ball and then probably come up and shot to 13 and bumped in front of the pocket and put Bedhead in a tough spot.
Well, this is tough. Stub breaking, Bedhead on the hill.
Well, he's absolutely got to get a ball in on the break here. If he doesn't, he's relying on Bedhead making a mistake.
And nothing's gone that I can see.
No.
Well, it's in Bedhead's court. It's in his hands.
One Pocket Slim saying Stubbs' only weakness, he turns the cue ball loose on occasions. Well, it's more than that.
Too many occasions.
Wasn't playing the right strategy there.
Well, I mean, I'm going to keep my mouth shut because Bedhead's been in this situation more than once in this match.
Well, obviously, nothing is a guaranteed run out here. I mean, I think I would probably shoot the 3 ball here, but you know the 5 ball is still a problem, and the 2 7s. And I mean, the stripes are really sitting better. I think he's probably going to take the stripes. He can shoot the 9 ball here, hit it with a little bit of right English, come back across and shoot the 13 and get rid of both those problem balls right now if he wants. He's looking like he's going to take solids, which I don't like as much. I'd shoot the 9 and come back for the 13, and then you know you're golden at that point.
Well, he's going to leave the bedhead cut on the 3 ball.
Yeah, well, the 3 ball's not as bad an issue as the 5 ball.
5 ball's a big issue.
You can get to the 5 ball, especially from the 6, but it's a touchy shot. So he's probably going to shoot the 7 now. He may try to run into the 9 and the 5.
Well, he's going inside the 2 ball here with this amount of English on it.
He may be trying to hit the 2 ball, because the 2 ball's an issue too. I mean, he's just got a lot of problems with this rack. I think he would have been better off taking the stripes.
Well,
yeah, that's what he's trying to do, is get that out of there. Well, there is a way to get out here. It's just
not easy.
Not easy, because you have two balls you have to get on that aren't that simple.
Yeah, and he's going to have to get in the short end of that 8 ball as well if he gets there.
He can try to get on the 5 here from the run, going forward and going 3 rails, or run into the 9. The good thing about running the 9 now is you've got the 2 there. I mean, you can get hooked or funny on the 5, but I would probably go forward here off the 1 ball and try to spin 2 rails around and hit the 9 ball, just because the 2 ball is sitting in a good spot.
Now, I mean, it looks a good angle to run across and hit something.
Yeah, I like going forward with it, because I like the angle you're coming into. It's better.
I know. Now what's he got? 6 ball. I think he can. He might be able to spin into it. Yeah, that'll do. Well, it'll do in terms of he's moved it, but I don't think he's got anything easy now.
Yeah, he hit it after the rail. It would have been better to bump it before the rail and just bump it over to the rail, because he would have had a shot for sure. Now he's in trouble.
Ooh.
I think he's going to have to shoot the 3 ball. He could cut the 3 ball, or he can shoot the 5 in the side.
Oh, what about your shot, Steve? Bump the rail into the 11 and into the pocket.
Yeah, it's sitting too far from the pocket. I mean, you can do it, but that's not an easy shot as far as 11 ball is in the pocket, because you've got to hit it. Well,
he keeps looking around. I don't think
it's not a bad shot. Let me put it this way: it's not really hard, but it's not as easy as that other one was that he passed up.
Right, here we go. There you go. Commentators called it.
Yeah, you hit it good.
Well, what did I say earlier, Steve? I said the bedhead cut. Is that going to seal the deal? How does he get in this 8 ball? He has to. He has to.
He better worry about the next ball after this, because this is not easy. I mean, he cannot. I don't think he can shoot the 3 here, because I don't think he can avoid hitting the back of the 12.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if he really spins it, see, that was never going to work.
Yeah.
He needed to hit the 1 there and either try to move the balls or get on the 3 ball there. I mean, he had both options. But, well, now he's left himself a real thin bank. I mean, there's no use in trying to play safe here. I'd be back cutting this into the corner pocket.
Yeah.
I would not do this. I would have banked it. Even though that's a thin bank, that's a lot easier than this kick, I think. Although the distance the ball is off the rail is sitting pretty good for a kick. But
yeah, but where's he going to pot the 8 ball? That's the question, even if he gets this.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to hit it with speed, which makes that shot way tougher.
Cue ball.
Well, all right. Well, I mean, I hate to say this, but I'm going to. That for Stubb not to get out here, he has to dog it.
Yeah, and it goes hill. Bedhead's going to be breaking in the decider.
Well, right off the bat, with ball in hand, he gets out of line.
Yeah, he's going
I'm
dead
sure
straight.
He's going to play the 13. He gets dead ass straight in on it. That's just silly. I mean, he's got ball in hand, and right off the bat, he's out of line. He shot that awful quick.
Is he thin cutting this 14, or is he cutting the 9? It looks as if he's in a look at the 9 there.
He can shoot the 11 if he wants. He can roll the 14 at the corner. He can even roll the 12. I mean, he's got his choices. I don't think the 13 is a very viable shot. He's at exactly the wrong angle on it.
He's made up his mind. He's lining up the 9.
This is amazing. He's got ball in hand. He ends up with this. He's shooting a 9 ball.
Oh dear.
And he overcut it.
And, well, Bedhead's got to go hell for leather here. I mean, it does.
This ball goes.
It goes.
He's got 2/3 of the pocket. I mean,
he's got to run 3 rails, surely.
Yeah.
And try and get lucky.
I'd probably run 3 rails because otherwise you're hitting a long cut shot in a partial pocket.
I mean, this is where you just throw caution to the wind. First of all, you got to get the pot.
You can bank this too and roll it forward. I mean, that's a viable shot if you're comfortable with a bank shot, but I don't think he is. I think he's going to go 3 rails.
No.
Oh, he hit that way too hard.
Yeah. And he never really got there. He would have been hooked behind the 12. Well,
yeah.
Stubbs got a second bite at it.
Well, we got guys with large Adam's apples. Both of these guys right now.
Yeah.
And they're both choking on it. I mean, this is
yeah, I bet if you,
this is fun watching guys play under pressure.
If they stood up, Steve, they'd take the chair with them. That's how tight it is.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, now this is a simple situation. Let's see what he does here. I mean, he's going to leave the 13 for last, which I don't like doing. That's just asking for trouble.
Nope.
He's got a good angle here. Oh, I meant the 12 ball. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's fine. 12 ball into the side, 8 ball into the same pocket.
The good thing is this is easy to get on it good. I would have gone forward.
Yeah.
See, all he had to do was roll straight forward. Yeah. Now he's funny on it. I don't get that. He stunned it over. All he had to do was go straight forward, and he was going to go naturally or straight in on it. He could have just rolled it in.
I mean, even I could see that.
Yeah, I mean these guys are just feeling pressure.
And now he's. I mean,
well, he'll take a lot of time on this. If he shoots this quick, it just shows he's nervous. Because I think with these shots, he's always taking a lot of time, and I think he's going to on this one and make it.
Yeah, he's got to get it the right pace to give it every chance to go in. You don't want to be stunning this and slamming it. You just want to roll it.
Yeah, he's taking his time, so I expect him to make this.
Oh, he's hit it to the knuckle. Boy. Sayonara.
Well, he didn't take your advice and hit it easy.
Yeah, you've got to just pick the angle, let it roll, and give it every chance to go in. That pace was just above the pace you want to be hitting these jaws and these tables. You can't do that in VP4. And
yeah, well,
Stubbs choked.
Stubbs going to look back on this match and he gave this match away.
Yeah, he's gone. Well, Bedhead falls over the line, and I think we could all agree that he literally fell over the line. And Stubb, right, Stubb just didn't get it done when he had the chance.
Well, let me go in there and DQ him now, or is he going to finish? I'll go in there and DQ him so that.
Yeah.
He's got to act like an ass.
Yeah, he didn't take it too well as usual. We know that.
Well, of course he says BS, but the thing is that he lost that match because of some bad choices and some dogging.
Yeah. It's all on video if he wants to watch it. He never will. But anyway, once the bracket is updated, Stubb is through to play semi-pro on the one-loss side of the semi-final, and Bedhead is in the hot seat. And well, what's the deadline now in these matches? The 23rd. What day is that? Is that Wednesday or Thursday? No, Christmas Day is Saturday, isn't it? I'm working till Thursday.
Right, but Bedhead, he can leave the room. He's already been DQ'd. That match is over.
Yeah. Well, it must be you that's still in the room, Steve, because there's nobody in the room now. I think that's what it is. Ah, well, somebody's falling asleep in it anyway.
Somebody's in there.
Well, I mean, the thing is, that was a good and enjoyable match, of course, because of all the incidents in it. You know, that's what makes it fun to watch. But
it was a really good match. I mean, it was close, and they both played well. They both made mistakes. There's a lot of strategy in that match, a lot more than in some of them we've seen.
Yeah. No, he's just been DQ'd to the one-loss side. Because he left the room without letting the match finish like he normally does when he's on a loss.
Well, you know, the bottom line is that Stubb is still in this tournament. He's going to have to go over and come out of the losers bracket, but a loss is not the end of the world for him. Yeah,
well, the thing is, though, Steve, he's playing the guy that's got the best stats in the tourney. You know, the important stats.
He is, and semi-pro is definitely the favorite. But on the other hand, you know, I mean, him and Stubb have a little issue with each other, and Semi is the kind of person that may let that bother him.
Yeah.
You know, what he needs to do is get in there and play and not take things personal. One thing I learned, because when I was younger in life, I took everything personal. And after I lost every single match where I didn't like the guy or I had something against him, it seemed like every time I played one of those matches, I lost. And I learned that, you know what, you got to let go of all that and not, hold animosity against people, because the only person you end up hurting is yourself.
Yeah.
And it took me a long time to learn that. And I think Semi needs to learn that. He needs to come into this match and not give a crap whether it's Stubb or whatever, and just play his game. And if he does, then he's the favorite to win it.
No, it's a simple thing. You just play the table. It doesn't matter who's hitting the balls on the other side. You just play the table, play your game. And if you do that, and if he does that and plays to any sort of level he's been playing, he'll win.
Yeah. Well, one pocket told Stubb he played like crap. I didn't think Stubb played that bad, but he definitely lost that from strategy mistakes, because, I thought Bedhead did not execute as well as Stubb, but he was the better thinker.
Yeah.
And that was a difference in the match, because that match, there were a lot of tables that turned into strategy tables.
Yeah, but, let's face it, when it came down to the wire, Stubb blinked first when it came to that 8-ball. He hit it too hard. You've got to hit it the pocket weight so that you can cheat the pocket with the pace. And the pace that he played it at was that stun pace where they don't go in when they hit the jaws at that pace in VP4.
Yeah, you're right. There was no reason to hit it like that. I mean, maybe he was a little afraid of scratching in the side pocket, but I didn't think that was on. If you look at this match, Stubb was in control. In the last few games, he dogged it twice.
Yeah.
Like bad dogs, and then made one serious strategy mistake when he shot that crazy shot after Bedhead let him out of the game. Bedhead had a game winner. He let him out of it, and then Stubb goes crazy.
Opened up the pocket. Yeah.
that's 3 big mistakes in, like, 4 or 5 games, and that's that's uh that's why he lost. I mean, he should have won that match.
Wouldn't it be good to actually have the two of them in Discord and watch that as a rerun and listen to their explanations? That'll never happen, but it would be interesting to hear.
With Bedhead, you're talking about. Oh shoot, Bedhead saying no game stats because I DQ'd him. I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. No, I thought I fixed that where it would, even if I did a DQ, it would do the game stats if it was the end of the match or towards the end. Let's go look, you go see if there's game stats. I thought I fixed that where you can get stats on a DQ.
Well, hopefully you'll be able to know that the stats have actually updated.
Because I did that for the straight pool tournament, where guys weren't getting their high runs because of something like that. I'm pretty sure I fixed that. Let's take a look and see.
Well, Bedhead's, I don't think it has. Bedhead's only got 36 breaks. He should have more than that. I think he should have had more than that. He's only in 36, and he's played Stubb, who's got 43.
Maybe it's only on a forfeit then that it did. Well, Stubb screwed himself out a bunch of breaks and run out too. Then I'm sorry, Bedhead. I shouldn't have done that. Of course, I was under the impression I'd fix that.
Bedhead. I wish I'd looked at the stats before the match started. Bedhead's in 20 racks run. Stubb's in 21.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Are you here to talk crap about Stubb before your match?
No. I just want to. I think Stubb should have a disciplinary because he messes up the stats as well as.
Well, actually, I should because it shouldn't do that. It should have done the stats, which I could have sworn I fixed that, but maybe I only did it for forfeit.
Yeah, I just think it's just generally disrespectful to Bedhead, regardless, or any other player that he plays against. Because if I end up being in a position where I'm going to win, beat him, it's going to mess my stats up.
Yeah, well, I agree it's disrespectful, but, I mean, he's not going to get kicked out of the tournament for doing that. We've talked about this before.
Yeah.
It's just, he's not making any friends here. He's not, he's not gaining respect. He's just losing it, and I don't know. Maybe he'll never figure that out, but that's his problem, not the rest of us.
I think the disciplinary should be not allowing him in the World Championships.
Well, he already got tossed out of one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with that because he's dug the hole for himself. If he enters a tournament, he messed about that last tournament with Cobra, but if he can't actually play and play to the end and let the game finish so that the stats are okay, then does he deserve to be in these tournaments? That's the question you've got to ask yourself because of the disruption that he ends up doing. If he wins everything,
it's my fault because it shouldn't do that. And I swear I thought I fixed that, but I think the issue is I probably only fixed it for forfeit. I've got to go back and take a look at that because I know I worked on that for straight pool because wanted to make sure guys got their high run in straight pool no matter what happened.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling it only got fixed for forfeit. I'm gonna have to take a look because otherwise I would have let the time run out and Bedhead would have just had to sit there.
Well, I'm reading the chat. Stubb's got plenty of excuses.
Because personally, I think that would annoy the hell out of me if stats on any player that didn't go through because for me it just ruins the tournament.
Well, it annoys me because now I've got to go work on it.
Well, my question to you, Sammy, is how are you going to deal with Stubb?
Yeah.
Are you going to be involved in a conversation during the match? Are you going to mute him for the match, which is the first thing you should do, or are you going to?
He did that.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, are you going to let him get into your head?
Well, you know, I mean, he's just, you know, he's going to act like a child because that's what he does. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's just everybody's got their own little personality quirks, and you know, Stubbs not making himself popular with his.
Yeah, but not everybody's psychotic though. You know, like Stubb. You know,
Well, you know, I mean, it's
he's definitely got behavioural issues. I mean, this is.
Trust me, I've seen plenty of this in real life. You know, so it's not like this doesn't happen in real life.
I mean, the United States is famous
I've
for
seen
going.
some-
But
You
the
know,
problem you have, Steve, is the fact that he does it every single tournament, regardless if it's a WC or not.
Well,
There's-
he doesn't end up getting DQ'd every tournament, but you know, we've had this discussion before. I mean, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I know.
He's going to have to act a lot worse than that to get thrown out of the tournament. But yeah, I mean, you know, you guys. Well, I guess you guys have seen Earl. I mean, because he's played a lot in things like Moscone Cup. But
Yeah.
you know, you haven't seen guys like Keith McCready, and I mean, there's been a lot of guys. Alex Pagulayan, who everybody thinks is the most wonderful person in the world. Well, try playing Alex Pagulayan, who's, you know, one of the all-time greats. You know, if he's not in the Hall of Fame yet, he will be. And have him chatting you up during the match and laughing and joking and, you know. Now, for some people, they probably don't care. He's not being an ass. He's laughing and joking and he's talking to you. But for a lot of people, that would drive them crazy.
yeah.
And, you know, he's never got kicked out of a tournament. You know, the best advice I can give anybody is don't let it bother you, because you're going to run into guys that, for one reason or another, they bug you. You know, Stubb, you know, he may bug everybody, but there's really not a lot you can do about it unless somebody really goes overboard. I mean, you don't see Earl getting kicked out of tournaments, and I've seen him act pretty poorly in tournaments.
Well, yeah, but eventually Earl got kicked out of the Moscone team.
Well, there's a lot of politics in the Moscone team. I mean, you know, Earl's not the only one that's had issues there, and Matchroom Sports, you know, they have their reasons why they pick people and why they don't, and you know, it's not any kind of a fair process. There's a lot of politics and favoritism and reasons that you don't hear about. So I don't think you can talk about that. I've never seen Earl get DQ'd in a tournament. I've seen him act really poorly. You know, it's just there's a lot of, you know, I hate to say it, but there's a lot of shitty people in the pool room world, and I'm not saying Earl's a shitty person, because I don't think he is. You know, I know Earl, and he's actually a pretty good guy. He just loses control of himself sometimes. But there's people that are, you know, I'm not going to name names, but there's people that are pretty crappy people that'll pull all kinds of shit on you, and you know, I don't see them get DQ'd. So, you know, I see people cut up their backers. I see people, you know, screw other people all the time in the pool rooms. So, you know, maybe you guys in the UK don't see that as much, but
I have.
yeah. So you know, that stuff's always going to be out there. You know, you just got to you just got to let it go. I mean, that's the thing, is you got to let that stuff go. That can't be your focus. You got to go play your game and don't focus on external bullshit. And you know, with Stubb, you know, there's going to be external bullshit.
Yeah, I'll just wind him up. Anyway, more important matters.
Yeah, I like that plan. You just wind them up, Hugh. That's
More
jerk that chain.
On a side note, Hugh, for you, when's good for you?
That's exactly the point I was going to make. What's good for me is before my bedtime, which is 8 p.m. So it needs to be 6 o'clock at the very latest, if I'm going to be able to get it.
Right. At any point during the week?
Well, The deadline is the 23rd now. Let me just get my head round this.
I obviously see all the proposals, but I also want you to be messaging Stubb, as distasteful as that is, and copying me, because the problem I've had with this process, and
Yeah.
Bedhead and Stubb went through this where they were having trouble, is that Bedhead has a problem with Stubb, and he doesn't want to communicate with him, and Stubb, he did his normal proposing one time. I want to see messages saying, this is when I can play and this is when I can't and this is why. Like, I have to work then, I mean, that's a valid reason where I can't play that time.
Yeah, it's going to be same for me because I'm going to finish about 5:30. I finish at work at 5:30.
Yeah, so you give the guys the times that you can play, and that and copy me on it, because I want to see that conversation, and because that way everything's out and open, and nobody's wondering who's got ulterior motives for doing this, or somebody's playing games. So send your proposals and then send a message. Going to be replying very quickly. If he's going to wait 2 days to reply, then, and that's why we need to get some emails or some messaging going back and forth.
Right. So
I would also message him and explain to him, this is my situation, and, so it's all out and open, and that way, he's got plenty of flexibility of choosing something that's going to work for you.
Yeah, I mean, for me, there's no way in hell I'm going to be playing at 10 p.m. because I work the following day as well.
Yeah, and I mean, people have to be considerate, and I know Stubb isn't high on that, but I think if it's explained to him, then he might actually be understanding. We can always hope.
Yeah, I mean, there's in the proposal include a message, so I'm going to put that in there.
Okay, that's good.
That would go directly to you, right?
I see all the proposals. Yeah.
Time due.
While Semi's writing stuff out, any guys that are still watching, bear in mind we have a deadline date for this one lost side match, or this semi-final. Keep your eye out for it. If it does go at a suitable time, I'll be there for it. In the meantime, though, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. Thank you to Steve.
Hang on a sec, Hugh. Semi.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, but he's already sent a proposal.
Oh, has he? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to have a look. Exit.
I think the earliest time would be 8 p.m. your time, Tuesday the 21st. That's the earliest one he's got is 8 p.m. on Tuesday.
See, that's no good for Hugh though.
If that's the time he can make it and you're okay with it, then fine, it's not a problem. It's just at 8 o'clock I'll be in my bed. Definitely
Yeah.
100%. But the final deadline day, I don't see a problem with that either. If it was later, you could have it 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah,
I
well,
mean,
explain that to put in your message that you um, you'd like to play at a time it can be streamed.
yeah.
And I think Stubb would probably like it on the stream too, unless he watches the stream we just did and finds out what I said about him dogging it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
even so, I mean, I'm just calling it the way it was.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd prefer it if you can stream it, because if like you're not there and no other admins are there, he's just gonna go loose.
Well, it's good for the community. I mean, it's good for the community to see it. Everybody enjoys the streams. I
Yeah,
don't mind coming in
agree.
and commentating. Hugh likes to do it, so it's a positive to do it. So let's try to get it during a stream, and if we can't, we can't. I mean, it's more important to play the match ultimately, but let's try to get it where Hugh can stream it.
On a personal level, I want time to practice. So for me, Tuesday's too early.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't think that's a good excuse. I mean, you guys are in here playing all the time, so I mean,
I'm not.
well, I mean, you can be right now. You can go practice. I mean, yeah. We just need to get this resolved because
Yeah,
the
sure.
more reasons each of us come up with why I can't be there and do this, the harder it's going to be to get this thing done.
Yeah, I agree. I think Thursday would be ideal for me.
Well, you can propose that, but let's just get this set in stone where we know when it's happening as quickly as possible. If you think Thursday is what you want to do, propose that, and let's see what happens. Because obviously, what Stubbs put out, Hugh can't do.
Yeah. And personally, I'd like Hugh to stream, because it'll be good for it, not only good for his channel, but it'll be nice to finish off the tournament, to get as many matches in as Hugh's done already, which has been fantastic.
Yeah. No, I mean we don't want to miss this one if possible. All right, I think it's time to say goodnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm just going to send a schedule.
Good. Yeah. Let's see if we can get it set up today, if you guys can.
Mind, I'd like you to stream it.
Right, guys, I'm bailing out this time.
Yep. Good night, guys.
So take care, Steve. See you later. You too, Semi. Good
Thanks,
luck
you.
in the match. And thanks, everybody, for watching. I'm going to get a quick bite to eat and then head to bed. Watch a bit of the snooker before I do it. So, see you again, guys.
Good night, all.
Bye, mate. So, Steve,